Hello and welcome back to Faces of Truth, where we try to make America think again. I'm Alexander McCauley. I'll be leading you through the topic of poverty in the United States right now. During the last debate, Bernie Sanders brought up the point that there are over 4 million poverty-stricken people in the United States nowadays. One thing, I think that number is probably a little overblown, but he's got the wrong idea as to the problem and how to solve it. He thinks we ought to raise the taxes on the working class and business owners to 70%. Okay, so right now, I own my own business. At the present percentage, I am paying $1,060 in back taxes. Under his plan, I would probably be paying over $5,000 in back taxes because I accidentally forgot to file a 1099 form for 2015. Okay, so what do we see here? The government is stealing from the business owner to pay out benefits and other expenses that wouldn't be necessary if they wouldn't take the taxes to begin with. Okay, so now that we've established that, what is the reason for poverty in the United States? Well, sorry to say it, it's income tax, business tax, tax in general. We've got two classes in the United States nowadays. We've got the working class and business owners, and we've got the political class, which is stratified into two sectors. The politicians or noble class, or subclass, and the career voters or subsidized class. We've also got two stratifications inside the working class, or the productive class, the working class, and the business owners. In order to maintain a good, healthy economy, you need working class to become business owners using their revenue they obtain through working for someone else. The more businesses we have, the more competition, the more jobs, the more healthy the economy. Now, when you got a big leech over here, the political class, sucking off the productive class, then you get poverty. Okay, so the political class, you get the noble class paying the voting class, and the voting class is basically leeching off the productive sector. When the voting class, I digress. The politicians get most of the money. They throw the pennies to the voting class so that they will continue to vote them in. So basically the money is going from one side of the political class to the other, except most of it is landing in the noble class of the United States. It's what I'd call it, the politician class. The politicians get richer and richer, while the voting class is pacified to vote for the politicians because they are getting benefits, which are basically pennies compared to what the politicians are getting off of this system. And in this system, the productive class becomes the slaves of the political class. You got the workers and the business owners. Now, in order to become a business owner, you have to be able to spend your capital to build a business. And while you're working, if most of your revenues getting spent trying to pay off the political class in order to keep from going under, then you end up joining the poverty classes. Okay, so let's see what happens here. As soon as you join the poverty classes, you end up, by desperation, having to join the political class on the voter class, the career voter class level, getting the crumbs from the politician's table thrown to you in order to survive. Now, the more of this that happens, the less businesses are going to be made, the less workers those businesses are going to have, and the more leeches there are going to be on the neck of society, on the carotid artery of society. Now, once this happens, the more people being transferred over to the voter class, the more socialist the government becomes, and then the more the destruction of that government is inevitable. So, we all need to be focusing on getting the people in the voter class back over to the working class so that we can shrink that voter class down to a minimum so that everyone across the board can start making money. Of course, we can't do that when our politicians are robbing us to fatten their own paychecks. Thing is, in our Constitution, these political positions were set up as a volunteer effort. You weren't supposed to have a fat paycheck. You were supposed to get just enough to compensate you for having to be within session for making necessary legislation to support life, liberty, and property. The retaining of those three things. All of the Bill of Rights protect life, liberty, and property. The whole legal system was built to protect life, liberty, and property. It's not complicated, people. It's the politicians that are making most of the money in the United States. We are financing them. They're throwing the crumbs to the voter class, which are getting them in every time. We need to change this up. This is getting to me, this is getting to you, this is getting to every person in the United States except the subsidized classes and the politicians the politicians are the ones that are the wealthy in America. It's everyone else who is struggling. The business owners, they're even struggling. You raise the percentage of tax to 70 or 75%, you're going to see the production of businesses go down. You're going to see jobs cut back. You're going to see absolute horror as far as the economy is concerned. We are on a self-destructive path into a hell created by our own hands. We need to cut back on government, the political class, the politician class, and start focusing on building the public, the private sector, the competitive businesses, and promoting the competition, making sure that workers have the capital to eventually become business owners of their own, and make sure that the people in the voting class are being transferred back to the working class so that they can once again have the dreams they want to become business owners of themselves. This is the American dream. We can accomplish things. We need to downsize the public sector, the government jobs, and the salaries of our elected representatives and executives, and also our judges. It should be a voluntary effort. Government should be a voluntary effort with only reimbursements for time spent. Our politicians should have a day job. Thank you very much for listening to this small rant. I thank you for your likes, your subscriptions, and your comments. I once again have been a little busy, so I haven't had the time I would have liked to read the comments, but I like the opinions nonetheless, and hope to be hearing from you soon. Thank you very much. See you next week. Bye.